Making waves.
Making waves.
Making waves.
Making waves. Making waves.
Making waves.
Making waves.
Making waves.
Making waves.
Making waves.
This is the Making Waves VO podcast with Kevin Kilpatrick and Bobbi Maxwell.
Welcome to the Making Waves VO podcast presented by Full Compass, fullcompass.com.
We know VO.
Hey, it's Kevin Kilpatrick and Bobbi Maxwell right here in Atlanta.
We are here for VO Atlanta, and we love, this is the noisiest podcast we've ever done, by the way. What we want it that way, and we'll be telling you why here in a few minutes.
Yes, we are here at VoiceOver Atlanta 2024, and we are at the Full Compass booth. It's more than a booth, though. It's almost like a tiny home, the way they got it set up here, with all this gear and everything, and it's magical for we voice actors to see all of this gear here, and we get to touch it, we get to play with it, we get to check out the sound and everything.
I've already got a shopping list, Kev.
Do you?
Yeah.
You know, word on the street is there's 20% off through the end of March.
Anything.
That is word on the street. I guess we can keep saying that. No restrictions up to $1,000. That's what I know. You need to call them and just mention VO Atlanta when you talk to them, and they're going to give you 20% off your purchase up to $1,000.
I think that's amazing.
And I think we got confirmation on that very thing right now. With Jason Welsh is with us. Jason, welcome. Jason is Vice President Marketing at Full Compass.
That's right.
Jason,
great to be here.
What's your impression so far of VO Atlanta?
It has been amazing. The community has been very inviting. They've been thrilled to have us here. There's been all sorts of different levels of expertise. So we've been able to advise on what we offer the community. So this is where we want to be. And this is the right place to be for the VO industry. You know,
I think you picked one of the best years to come in because just looking around, Kevin, I don't know about you, but this is my 7th VO Atlanta. This is the one I think that has the most newer people. So you're getting in at a good time because they all want equipment.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so welcome.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah, this is awesome. And what about this gear setup, Bobbi? You want to kind of describe what you're working on, you're talking into right now?
Yeah, I think Jason described it when we talked a couple of weeks ago. Good, better, best? Is that what you were saying, kind of?
Yeah, pretty much. Different price points.
Yeah.
So we have kind of a starter package experience over here with the DM7 from Shure. This mic doubles as an XLR and a USB microphone. So
Nice.
for traveling and podcasting, you could go directly to the computer, or you can go through an audio interface if you want better recording capabilities.
And that's what I'm on right now?
You're on the SM7DB. I'm on the DM7.
Okay,
so
they
the
both sound amazing.
SM7DB is a newer mic from Shure. For years, the SM7B has been iconic across all sorts of different podcasts. What they did this past year is added the low-pass filter directly into the microphone, so you no longer need a third device in your daisy chain there.
Sweet.
Very cool.
And Kevin is on, what is that?
What am I on?
You're on an Earthworks Ethos.
Okay.
So really excited about this brand. It's newer to the industry, although very renowned in recording studios. You're seeing these across all sorts of different shows. They were, I believe they were on the Emmys this last year.
Nice.
Featured. Very high quality, U.S. company at a great price point. So Can
you mention the price point on this?
Absolutely. That one is $500.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good intermediate,
And 20% off.
20% off. That's right.
So this is nice. So you've seen this, like you said, on the Emmys and stuff. How do I sound on it? Does it sound pretty good?
You sound fantastic.
I think you sound really, really good.
Yes, very nice, very nice.
You know, I love this, what are you calling it?
The boom arm?
Boom arm.
Because mine, I was just telling you this before, mine it's pretty old, but every time I bump and I have a smaller booth, I bump it at and
How's
I'm
it go?
over it.
Okay.
But this one looks so solid.
Yeah,
and
it is.
And you were talking about the band in here rather than the coil.
Correct. Yeah, it has more of a leaf spring to it than the old springs, but you have to pay extra for the sound effects now. However, these ones are very secure. We've torn this booth down probably 10 different times before getting it out here.
Okay.
And we've been moving, 3 to 4 different stands every single time they've held up to all of it. We've got all sorts of mics on there, including the Neumann U87, which is a heavier mic.
Yeah.
It holds it just fine. So
Wow.
these are, I believe, 130 typically. Right now with the code, you could get them for right around $100.
And what is the exact brand again? Gator?
This is Gator Frameworks. So
Okay.
it's Gator Stands boom mic division, basically.
Okay,
They're desk stands.
So- Sold.
Yeah, they're getting really popular in this industry, aren't they? I've been seeing that name a lot over the last few
Absolutely.
years. Gator, you know.
Yeah, they've been around the industry for a long time. They started with instrument stands, so very trusted in the musical instrument industry. So they have the right manufacturing plants to produce some really nice stuff, and the price points are just outstanding.
Oh, by the way, did you know that when Kevin did country radio for many, many years, his name was Gator?
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Gator.
It was. So,
Gator.
yeah, I was in South Florida, the Miami market, and it's a funny little story. When I got the gig and I'm signing my agreement with the radio station, the guy's like, I told the guy specifically, I want to use my real name because he's notorious for changing people's names. He's like, yeah, that's fine. So for 2 days, I was Kevin Kilpatrick. A couple of days later, he goes, Kevin, I want to readdress this name thing. And then he talked me into using the name Gator. And I'm glad he did, actually. Just a side story, it just helps with ratings because when people are filling out the ratings books, they remember Gator a lot more than they... Anyway, so
Yeah.
sidebar. So back to the Gator equipment now. This stuff is high-quality stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's I love it. It's kind of sexy in a way because it hides. You can hide the cables in here.
It
right?
actually comes with an integrated XLR cable.
Oh, even
Wow.
So it's all
Wow.
built in. Yeah, it's fantastic.
even better. Love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Can we talk a little bit about the history of Full Compass? Because this is your first year here, and it may be a newer name to a lot of people coming into the business. Tell us about the background and how you got into voiceover. I think you mentioned you started in voiceover, right? Or
Well,
was
we
it the-
started in recording.
Recording.
So back in, I believe, 1973, our owners founded a recording studio in Madison, Wisconsin. So the Full Compass recording studio. Shortly after that, they started to manufacture their own tape reels and sell those across the nation.
Do you even know what a
different-
tape reel is?
I do because I work for Full Compass. We have.
But you never used one, I bet.
I never used one.
Okay.
I never used one.
I'm implying Jason is a younger gentleman. That's
Yes,
what I'm getting at.
he
here.
is.
We do have a museum in our
That's
headquarters.
Thanks, Jason. As we slump in
not
our
about
seats
that.
now.
Yes, right. No, we're really based in the technology. We grew up with it, if you will. So we're still family owned and operated. The founder is still running the company today.
That's
the
amazing.
family is the board, so we're directed by people who have been in this industry for a very, very long time. We have a sales staff of over 50, average tenure of 15 years. So you consider that. They've done a lot of things. We help a lot of professionals, a lot of professional studios. And now we've found a niche in more consumer area, which is voiceover. We want to help folks get the gear that they need to grow their careers. So our staff is trained and ready to advise on exactly what you need for your stage, wherever you might be.
And you said the average tenure of your salespeople about 15 years. That's a lot of knowledge.
That's remarkable. And not only is it the knowledge, but you add that to the family atmosphere, and it's a great company to do business with right here in the United States. I love that aspect. It's family, and then you've got all these people, so you have to have a great culture there. Right?
Absolutely. Yeah, based in Wisconsin, you hear a lot about the Wisconsin nice. It's a real thing. I moved from the West Coast a few years ago, and it's just amazing the lengths people will go to help you out.
Yeah.
That is our sales team. They're ready. They're going to take your request, whatever it might be, and make sure you get what you need.
Very nice.
Yeah, in my experience, when I ordered my sweet new Apollo Twin, the guy, I can't remember his name, but he was a great guy, super helpful. And the thing was, I was like, I'm kind of in a rush to get this. and he's like, we're going to do the best we can. I've got it coming in, showing it'll be there on this day, which was in time, but I got it 2 days ahead of that.
Wow, that's
I was
very
like,
impressive.
Dude, so good. I sent him a note. Thank you so much. And all these things, but I'm super excited about my sweet new Apollo Twin that I got from Full Compass, and I got 20% off.
Yeah, you did. You want to
20%
bring in
off.
an audio expert and ask him a few questions?
Yeah, Jason, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the Making Waves VO podcast. We're going to bring in Nick Marzock, and coming up in a couple of minutes, we're going to talk with Chris McCloy, who is a veteran voice actor. We're also going to talk with Marco Rigazio in a couple of minutes as well. Marco is an up-and-comer in the business, and we're going to chat with him in a few minutes as well.
Hey there, it's J. Michael Collins, and you're listening to the Making Waves VO podcast with Kevin Kilpatrick and Bobby Maxwell. Now back to my lobster.
Now we got Nick.
Yeah.
Can you tell I've had my quad Americano going?
I've had 6 of them, so I'm wired.
Nick
Are you
is-
warmed up to sing for us, though?
So,
The caffeine in my voice.
Nick, we're going to intro Nick Marzock. Nick is a singer. He is a producer. He's an instrumentalist. He is all things tech, too. He is one of the
Thank you.
faces of Full Compass. And, dude, tell me about setting all of these things up that we're talking on right
Yes.
now.
So I had a catastrophe with one of the pieces of equipment that I brought. That whenever I plugged a third phantom-powered microphone in, the battery drained and it crashed.
Oh, no.
So I will not mention the name of that device. That was
It
not from
happens.
Full Compass. That was mine.
Oh, okay. Good.
And so, yeah.
Way to clarify that.
And so, so I then had to kind of, all of our interfaces that we brought to demo are 2 input, and we have 3 microphones. So then I had to
Okay.
figure out how to do that. So basically, I put 2 microphones into this Neumann MT48, which is like, bringing an Uzi to like, I don't know, a rock, paper, scissors fight.
To a BB gun fight.
That just looks really
It
nice.
is so
I mean,
cool, yeah. And I got to finally demo it for the first time here because like these are pretty rare. It's new, and I don't really see these,
You want to
out in.
describe it a little bit?
Yeah, so it's an interface that has 4 inputs, 2 XLR, and the XLR also 1/4 inch. And then there's 2 1/4 inch in the front, 2 XLR outs, but also line out. And it has a great touch screen LED on the front that all of the stuff that, like, you and I are both Apollo guys, and so we do the plugins. You can do the plugins inputting in the console, but all of it's in the box. So you have your limiters, dynamic control compressors,
Oh, that's
EQ.
sexy, man.
It's all on the touch screen, like going in. So
Can we do something real quick? Can you jump over there and talk on the 87 and then come
it's
back?
not plugged in.
Oh,
I'm so
man.
sorry.
That's okay. That's
I've
what you were
let
just
us
saying.
all
okay,
down.
I'll tell you, he sounds real good on
I'll
that shirt that
bet.
he's talking on right now.
Yes.
So give us the model. It is
This is the MT48.
Neumann MT48.
Yeah, they retail for I think around $1,800, somewhere around there.
Well, that's not horrible.
It's,
like,
I mean, no, for a
that's not
Neumann.
For a
Yeah.
Neumann?
Yeah, anything Neumann. It sounds great. A great interface.
very good. I'm telling you, I really expected that to be about double what you were saying.
Yeah.
I was like, that's
Really?
going to be $4,000.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, wow. That is slick, man.
Yeah,
That's
it
slick.
does. It does a
Is
lot.
it
It's very
too
functional.
late to trade in my Apollo? No, I'm gonna love my Apollo. I can't wait to get all the plugins going and all that.
But now it's going to know you said that, and it's so it might be different.
But as a musician, how impressed are you with Full Compass as a company?
I love it. This honestly working for Full Compass is like a dream because I'm such a gearhead too. So like I love gear. I love their support for music, voiceover, but also DJ, lighting, big venues, houses of worship, all of the different elements. They support all of it, and they have great expertise on it. So it's a dream come true. I get to test out gear. I get to come to things like this, meet people, and meet you guys. And,
How
and
long
be
you
on
been
this-
with them?
Oh, it's very new. Start of this year.
Oh, dude, you're
Yeah.
doing a bang up job. for
Thank
them.
you.
That's
Weren't you
for
at
sure.
one of the
Thank
big seminar or one out in LA?
NAMM? Yeah, I did NAMM,
yeah.
So that was my first like big assignment with Full Compass of like covering NAMM, and I've been brought on to do content, but here it's been great. I get to pretend like I know what I'm talking about and consult with.
Stop it. You do.
Tell me about your celebrity band.
Yeah, it's fun. So I'm the music director of this band called the Action Figures, which is an iteration of another celebrity band called Band from TV that I'm in. And so it's basically a bunch of TV and film celebrities that get together. It's a cover band. Band from TV's charity oriented, and then the Action Figures is more geared towards Comic-Cons. And so, like, if you are in sci-fi or cartoons or something like that, that's kind of the prerequisite for being in the band. Except for me, who's just the music director, so I don't have to. Yeah, I don't need to meet the quota for being on TV. But yeah, it's so much fun. We play all over the place. So my best friend out in Los Angeles is Greg Grunberg, who's a fantastic actor. He's Heroes. If you watch Heroes on NBC,
yeah.
He was the police officer who can control your mind and.
Very cool.
So Felicity Alias, like Star Wars and Star Trek. He's one of the few people that have done both. But one of his best friends is his best friend in the world is J.J. Abrams. So that's helpful to get a couple of those auditions. And so he's the drummer. Scott Grimes, who's the voice of Steve Smith on American Dad. He's piano, but Scott's also in the Orville and now Ted, the new Ted series. He is a killer vocalist. So he is one of the lead singers and piano. Adrian Pasdar, who's another Heroes guy, Jack Coleman, who's from The Office, and
these are all in your band?
Yeah, and they rotate. Melora Hardin, who's Jan in The Office, she's one of our singers. Sarah Wayne Callies from The Walking Dead. So it's like a rotate. It's tough with actors because, and I think that's why they kind of brought me into the band, because I am a multi-instrumentalist, because we'll have a show booked for 6 months, and then the week of someone gets a job and they have to, so I'm here to fill in on whatever, and make sure that everything runs on time, so
Love it. And you've done some voiceover yourself. Do you want to talk about, what have you done? What have you been working on?
Yeah, so I was with, I got into voiceover by becoming the voice of the Pennsylvania Lottery for like 3 years.
Okay.
And that was a different.
That's big.
It was awesome, and that was like right as I was moving to Los Angeles. I booked it. So when I was driving out to LA, I broke down in Omaha, Nebraska, and I had a session booked the next day in Denver. So I had to move it to Omaha. Went in and it was a different. Like my voice is very. I have a little bit of rasp.
Yeah.
But whenever I do this, then it's a little more cartoony. So Pennsylvania Lottery, keep on scratching. So it's that. But what I discovered early on is that I can do impersonations and get, some of them are cartoonish. Like obviously you have to learn the presidents anytime or like political figures for like the Jimmy Kimmel auditions, that kind of stuff. If you're, doing a voiceover for that. But like Jonah Hill and Miles Teller, I did their ADR for the movie War Dogs.
No
wow.
kidding.
Yeah. And so, and then I did the TV swearing cover-ups for War Dogs. So that was such a fun session because there were so many F words in that movie.
Yeah, I was going freaking a lot. You had to say freaking a lot.
Yes. I had 300 lines, and so it was like a 3-day shoot. And like Jonah Hill's just up here the whole time, and like
I was gonna put you on the spot for some Jonah Hill. There it is, right there.
I gotta listen to him again, but it's somewhere up in here. Like this is kind of where his rest. And then Miles Teller was kind of closer to my own voice, but with a little more Brooklyn on it. So just covering up, and it was all what are you doing with the fudging thing? Like it was all fudging or like freaking or stuff like that. So that was such a great. And then a little bit of sci-fi. I was in an Alien and Valerian, the sci-fi film Valerian. So
you respect our business big time.
I love your business big time. Yeah, it was a lot of voice matching. So I think my agency really discovered that, and that was all the auditions I was getting was voice matching. But every now and then I get a commercial or something like that. But for the most part, and then my agency dissolved during COVID. I was with a company that.
William Morris?
Yes. It was,
I guess the whisper is being picked up.
Is it William Morris? I know. William Morris. Yeah, they dissolved. So, but right at that time, I was kind of reprioritizing my music career. So it all worked out.
Okay.
But I'm now I really want to get back into voice. I miss it. I miss doing impressions
we've tickled that, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely.
Especially
being around to make some connections.
Yeah.
Your natural sound is perfect, man.
It is.
Thank you.
It is. It's so current.
Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff.
And my voice coach is here actually teaching, Carol Kimball out of Los Angeles. Yeah, she's doing panels and X sessions, and so it's been really cool to connect with her.
Nice.
She was so great at just helping me get into a character and understand what you have a Toyota read and you're driving the Toyota. How do you feel about that? And like really getting my, essence into what this product is. So she was so helpful from that standpoint. So it was great to reconnect with her. This has been
Very
awesome.
cool.
Love it.
Yeah.
Nick Marzock, thank you for your time,
Thank
man.
you so much,
Great
Kevin and Bobbi. I
stuff.
really
And
appreciate it.
We're going to bug you again a little bit later.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. We're going to get Chris McCloy over here.
Hola, soy Jenny Álvarez y estás escuchando el Making Waves VO Podcast con Kevin y Bobbi.
We are recording our Making Waves VO podcast. We're recording it live from VO Atlanta 2024 from the Full Compass booth, set up with all this sweet gear. And welcome, voice actor Chris McCloy.
Flew in from the great north.
I am from way over on the West Coast,
Yeah,
and the
Chris?
airline took me all the way to Montreal, and then came all the way down. It was awful. Getting here sucked.
It's okay.
But I'm here.
You're here. Chris
I'm
McCloy is
here.
here with us. Thanks for joining us for a minute, man.
You're very welcome.
We're talking all this sweet gear from Full Compass. And Chris, most people in our industry know who you are, know what you
They do?
Yeah. Dude, you're well known in our
on.
industry. But what is some of the stuff you work on most time? Video games, commercials, what are you working on?
I do a little bit of everything, but commercial, corporate, do some e-learning, have done some video games, medical.
Yeah.
But
Really?
medical,
You do medical.
Yeah, I know. But it paid really well, so I shouldn't make that face at
medical
all.
stuff can be advantageous if you
It
can
can
get
be.
those big words down and you know,
Yeah.
They-
It's all, but every aspect of it is just super fun. Even I'm standing watching the two of you work, and you can't see the brilliance of what the two of you do.
Oh,
There's
you're
no.
Tell me more.
Interviews. Yeah, let's talk about Kevin.
Give me a cup of
Interviewing, it's not easy to do. To watch the two of you work is fun. There's a subtlety where you leave a little bit of room, and I know you come from radio.
Yeah, I was going to say radio.
you're a
I
radio
know
guy,
what
so you
you're
pick up on
doing,
that
but
stuff.
it's so fun to watch two people who are really, really good at it.
Oh,
I
thank
find it
you.
amazing that you can do it from different cities.
Oh, we're both in Nashville now.
You're both in Nashville now.
Yes,
Oh, well,
but
then
we
you're getting
still
bit-
do it.
But still,
But
we're
you
not
did
in
it
our
from
homes.
different cities for so long.
Yeah.
I find it really interesting to watch two pros do this,
Oh, you're cool, man.
and then see you together to do it. It's really fun to watch.
You know, the big thing about that is a lot of people think about their next question way ahead of time, and you've got to stay in the moment and something like
Yeah.
this. And
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll think of something and I'll lock it away,
Yeah.
and then I'll have it ready to go. But it sounds spontaneous that way. For instance, I locked this away a few minutes ago. I want to know about your setup at home.
Yeah.
What have you got set up gear-wise at home?
I'm using a Sennheiser.
416?
416 is the primary one.
Yep.
Unless it's a video game, I've got a TLM 103.
Love it.
And then I'm running it through an Apollo,
The Solar Twin?
the Solo Twin.
Okay.
And
you built your own booth a couple years ago, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I renovated our first home. I did like a full do drywall and build walls and did that whole kind of thing.
Isn't it a pain in the ass?
What's that?
Isn't it a pain in the ass?
Unbelievable pain in the ass. Well, the pain in the ass was here. The three words I've hated more in my life, no matter where I've been working, is can we just,
Oh.
whether it comes from my wife,
Okay.
I love her to death, but can we just do that? And you're like, do you realize that just means like 4 weeks of work?
Absolutely.
Because you want me to move this over here or something. So there's things like that. But, I loved the creating something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And so when I did that at the house and then thinking about the booth, I love the idea that I could over-engineer the heck out of it. And everything that came out of it afterwards was all I have to focus on now is the performance. Because I don't care if my neighbor is mowing the lawn. I don't care if a plane flies overhead or if a train goes by because I overdid it so much
Love it.
Yeah.
that it never affects anything that I do.
Yeah.
So whether I'm in a session, whether it's a directed session or I'm doing auditions, it's always going to sound the same,
Yep.
and I never have to worry about it.
That's
which
the
is
great thing.
And it just freed.
It's peace of mind.
Oh, it just frees you up to just go, whoa, performance. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've seen your space you've done your little video camera around it. Lots of arm room and stuff.
yeah, there's stuff all over the
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
Do you have treatment up? Do you have any Orlex products or any kind of foam up? Or what do you do? Panels or?
I did panels.
Okay.
I did panels, and then I did a cloud.
Okay. Yeah.
That's and that's about it.
Yeah, that's
you know,
probably all
I
you
just
need.
I didn't want to kill it completely.
Yeah.
because I had a room once that had everything on it, and it sounded like it
sucks the life out.
It really does,
Yeah.
and you go into enough spaces and you start to figure out, well, what does sound good? You know, I think I was just in enough booths over my career that I figured out.
You can go ahead.
You have youngins. Have you gotten them into the business yet?
I just had a conversation with Mark Ryder about a ShopRite spot that he booked.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big blueberry, and he did it with and the other character is a little blueberry, and he tried to get his son cast as the little blueberry, and he didn't get the job.
Okay.
I tried to get my son cast as the little blueberry, and he didn't get the job. But as two dads with two kids, both auditioning for the same thing, we had the exact same conversation, him with his 8-year-old and me with my 10-year-old, where they're both going, did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it? Did I get it?
That's
And we're
all
like,
I wanted to know.
Right. And they really wanted the job, but somebody else got it. I don't know who got it, but it was one of those moments where you're just like, jeez. But
So they are kind of...
they are trying, yeah. I get
Very cool.
The agencies know that I got kids, and they're like, do you think he wants to try it? And so
Yeah.
we throw him in there.
I love it. I had similar story. I had a company reach out to me for some e-learning, and they needed some kids. And I got twin boys, and so I had them both audition. This was when they were about 12, and they still kind of had their mushy mouth, and a little bit squeaky, and they both did great reads. I submitted them both, and I heard back from the company, and it was overseas, and they said, this is the budget that and they both could have had the job, but I turned it down for them because the pay rate was horrible.
Oh, good for you.
And so I introduced them, and I said, guys, you were good enough to get that gig, but we can't accept this rate. I think they were wanting like 6 cents a word or something like that, which is, even for them just getting into it, I wasn't going to do that. Yeah, it was too low. Yeah. So I introduced them right away, like, guys, you're good enough. You both could have had this job, but we're turning it down, okay? And I explained to them why. So anyway, that's a little sidebar. Go ahead.
How did they take it, though?
Oh, they didn't care.
Really?
Go back to my video game.
Okay.
That's it. So it was fine.
I have a 4-day-old grandbaby boy. If you need
saw the pictures.
If you need a screaming baby newborn,
you got
the word out.
Before we let you go, I was going to ask you one final question about for those that are getting into you've been doing this a while.
Yep.
For those that are exploring getting new gear and stuff like that, what is most important to you? I know what's most important to me, but what's most important to you when you're thinking about buying the equipment that you need for your setup?
Your space.
Love it. Love it.
Not the gear.
Yeah.
Yep.
I do little video snippets of voiceover tips in 60 seconds, and I post them all over LinkedIn and stuff like that just for fun. And I just did one about it doesn't matter how expensive the microphone is, because this Neumann U87 in a crappy space
Exactly.
is going to ruin your auditions. But if you have a $300 mic that isn't as sensitive as that U87, then it works. Yeah. So don't worry about your space more than the mic.
Yeah.
And somebody like George the Tech has said the same thing.
Yeah.
The space, the treatment.
I preach that too.
If you can worry less about that, the mic can come later.
Yeah.
Get the space, book the jobs, then get the mics, and then somebody is going to cast you in a video game, or you're going to dub something where they really need, no, we need the large cap. It's got to have all the sensitivity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when you're starting out, no, space, not mic.
Because if you can't replicate that in a job that you've booked, that is like a big
You can't fake it to make it.
No, you cannot.
You can try. You might lose the job later.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Going forward, it's like, So, yeah.
Voice actor Chris McCloy, thank you for your time, man.
Thank you.
And we'll be seeing you around. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
What's up? This your boy Trey Mosley. And this is the Making Waves VO podcast with Double K, Kevin Kilpatrick, and my girl, Bobbi Maxwell. Give a listen, y'all.
This is the Making Waves VO podcast. We're recording live from VO Atlanta 2024. Kevin Kilpatrick here.
Yes, and we're here with Full Compass, and it's their first time at the conference, and they're one of the main sponsors. And what we're doing is we have a setup here for the podcast and for other people to try out different microphones and interfaces and headphones. And I'm on the Shure. What is this?
SM7DB.
Thank you. And
Love
Kevin
it.
is on a very nice mic.
The Earthworks. I can't remember the model.
Ethos.
Ethos.
Yes.
Ethos. ethos.
So it's
Love
just
it.
kind of we're checking things out, and they're offering a 20% off code for conference goers on anything up to $1,000.
Yep, through the end of March. So make those calls now to Full Compass and talk with an expert advisor, and they're going to navigate you through what you might need. And speaking of navigating through what we might need, we have another guest joining us right now from a different perspective. Marco Rigazio is with us. Marco, welcome to the Making Waves VO podcast.
Thank
Marco.
you. Good
Nice to
morning,
meet
good
you.
morning, afternoon. No, still morning.
Almost
Yeah.
lunchtime.
So Marco's background is Marco has been grinding at a normal job, just grinding it out. And over the last few years, he's like, I want to be a voice guy. I'm trying it out. And Marco's been training, and he's been having some successes. So I wanted to talk with Marco about his journey, where he is right now. Marco, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you live, and how long you've been doing voiceover.
Well, I'm working out of Pittsburgh.
Steelers fan?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, Bengals.
No, it's okay. I'm not. I like sports, but
Go ahead.
I don't particularly have I don't know. If I watch a game and I miss it, whatever.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
big deal. I'm not that big of a, I grew up in New York, so you might hear a residual New York
I do
accent.
now.
Yes,
Yeah.
now that I mentioned it,
missed it.
right?
Yeah.
Especially when I'm very conversational, relaxed.
It comes out in a drink or two.
Don't get in the car while I'm driving in traffic.
Then the real New York comes
Oh
out.
boy. I moved to Chicago for a little while. I was in Miami for 17 years. I knew the Gator.
Were you down there when I was down there?
I was.
What?
I moved down in '97.
No. Wow, right in
Moved
the
down in
middle of my
97,
heyday there.
And I was on Key Biscayne,
Okay.
and
yeah.
I even owned the gym down there.
Okay.
My previous life, I was in the fitness industry.
Okay.
And I was a personal trainer, strength coach, have a master's exercise science, massage therapist. So the body was my
Nice.
gig for a while. And I did that also. I was looking for a real job. It turned out that had to be it. And then I moved to Pittsburgh, and I'm kind of one of those voiceover COVID babies.
Okay.
And a year after COVID hit, I said, I'm a little bit older now. I don't want to earn my living working with my body.
Yeah.
It doesn't hold up as well as it used to. And I had thought about voiceover way back when I was in Miami, actually. One of my clients was a DJ, and he gave me my first mic. I forgot the name of it. It was a USB mic. I never did anything with it. I signed up for Voices.com back then.
Yeah.
And didn't really do anything because I didn't know anything. And I let it go. And when I got up here, and after COVID started, I said, I need to do something that's a little bit more resilient in that you're not going to get booted. And I've
Yeah.
always had this entrepreneurial mindset. I own my own gym. If I hold the reins, I have the control over whether I'm working or not. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to go back and try this voiceover thing. And I jumped in with both feet. I built my first booth. I didn't.
Oh, you built your first
I
booth.
did not go into a closet. I didn't do the movie. I actually built 6-foot panels and the ceiling and everything. And fortunately, in Pittsburgh, we have basements. So it's in the basement, and I think it's a pretty good sound. I didn't have the funds to spend on a whisper room or anything.
Yeah.
Nor did I have the space. The basement's only 7 feet tall, so there's not enough height. God, a lot of YouTube. Mike Delgadio helped me pick out some equipment first. You know, he doesn't know me, and I don't know him. It was just watching his videos, the booth junkie. And
What is your current equipment?
currently, I'm using the Lewitt 540S microphone.
Oh, those are nice.
Yeah. And I have the Audient ID14 Mark II interface.
Is that the one that's here somewhere? I think he took it down already.
Yeah, I think he took it down. So.
And I work with Studio One as my DAW.
Okay.
Okay.
And I got a lot of help from Don Barnes, who helped set up everything for me, because I have a loss of hearing, and I wear hearing aids, so I don't really trust my hearing so I needed somebody else's professional ears, and that's it.
And this
That's
is your
it.
first conference?
My second. I was
Okay.
here last year.
Okay. Yeah.
I
What
was
do you
here
What do you
last
think
year.
of everything?
I think it's great. I think it's really great. This year I did not do any X sessions. I'm really using it to literally meet people, not just about work.
Yeah, connections.
Just the personal connection, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of what this is really about. Yes, you learn, sure, but it's literally the personal connection you can make with someone. Am I popping into I should?
No, we're just...
It's okay.
So yeah, that's kind of where I am now. And I'm, full disclosure, Kevin is one of my coaches.
Oh, you didn't tell me that.
You know me.
He's a great
He's
coach.
one of my coaches.
He's a great coach. He's even a better director.
Great coach.
Oh,
And I think we resonate well together. And I appreciate everything he's done for me.
I love that you say that.
My thing here, and
So you're working on commercial then? Is that your
I am.
desired genre?
I'm focusing now on automotive.
Yes.
I have my
Marco
tongue
said-
twisters that you sent me.
And I borrowed those from somebody else.
Yes.
But you know, they are passed around the industry, and it just helps with your diction. Because Marco, you hear his New York accent.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, one of the things I was telling him is like, you've got to work that out, buddy.
Yeah.
You've got to work
Yes.
that out.
I didn't hear it at the beginning, though. Until he said he was from New York, I honestly did not hear that.
Yeah, and when I moved to Chicago, it was a little heavier,
Okay.
and I tried to lose it.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know if I felt embarrassed about the accent, and I don't know. And then now with this, you learn to embrace yourself. Now, I want to be able to not have it because you want to, turn it off for a second.
Yes.
To be more general American.
Correct.
Right? If someone says, hey, we need that New York guy.
Yeah, because that does happen.
Yeah, sure.
It does, and you're going to crush that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I got you.
What I want to ask you now, Marco, is you built your own studio. You've gone through all this. What advice would you have? Now, let's not talk about in terms of the space, because we've kind of covered the space aspect of it. Let's say you've got a nice space set up. What would you do differently when it comes to gear purchases, or what advice would you have for somebody? Because you've just kind of gone through this. What advice would you have for somebody in terms of gear purchases?
I would say, yes, the space is the primary, and you've already discussed that. The space is the primary concern. For me, I did not start with the Lewitt microphone.
Okay.
I started with the Cinco D2 shotgun microphone because I wasn't confident about my space.
Right.
And the shotgun will allow very hyper focused,
Oh, yeah.
right, and block out a lot. So I did that for that safety type thing. The Lewitt is not an inexpensive microphone.
No, it's a nice mic.
It's a nice
Is it?
mic. It's not quite the 416 or the 103, but it's up there. I got the Cinco on eBay.
Yeah.
But I did not start off, like I say, I did not start off with anything low end. I really jumped in to it. My first interface was the Audient. I said, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this. I said, no, I'm going to invest into this. Why? I'm going to have this stuff for a long time. One thing about me is I'm a little tenacious.
Love it.
And I know this is not a short win. This is a long-term thing, so
Marathon,
I'm going to need
not a race. Yep.
I'm going to need it. Although I do feel the Dunning-Kruger effect hitting, But I would say get what you can when you start off. I would say the most important thing, yet the gear, don't go crazy with the expensive mics right away.
Right. Well, that's what we were saying
You-
before. The
Right, you
space
can't.
is so
You
much
can't.
more
the
important.
space is so much more important.
Yeah.
Outside of the gear, I mean, you can do a lot. From what I've learned from Don Barnes or from any other person, Roy and everything, you hear all of these people have their preferences about what they like, but everybody's working. Everybody's working with different DAWs, different microphones, different interfaces. Everybody's getting paid the same. don't get hung up on that's the one that I have to use to get work.
Yeah.
You
It's a big old pool. They're looking for a lot
That's
of
it.
different things
you,
out there.
You have to find what works for you. And if you're really on a budget, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. If you're going to spend, I mean, you need the microphone. You need the interface. If you're going to not use USB, you need the tech. But what you need is coaching.
Absolutely.
Love it. Marco, that's a good point. And thank you for your time, man. Thank you for your insight on
Yeah, keep softening that accent. You know?
Yeah,
And
he's got great pipes.
Yeah.
You know, but
I'm working on it.
We're working on it, though.
I'm working on it,
Marco
yes.
Rigazio, voice actor. Thank you
Great
for
to
your
meet
time, buddy.
you.
Thank you.
I grabbed somebody else because we want to get this lady's perspective. Jason, we're going to talk with Nikki. Nikki, would you have a seat right here?
VO news and insights to take your game from VO adequate to VO at a kick ass. This is voice actor Steve Henderson with Good Pipes VO, and you're listening to the Making Waves VO podcast with Kevin Kilpatrick and Bobbi Maxwell.
Do you know Bobbi, by the way?
You know, we've never met, but you know how I know of her? It was at the political convention. You did a little swag on every table, the little blocks, the political. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And
Did
I
you
still
get
have
one?
it, yeah.
This is voice actor Nikki Lowe, by the way. Let's
Lovely to
introduce
meet
her
everyone.
properly. Welcome to the Making Waves VO podcast,
Thank
Nikki. I
you.
saw you. I wanted to grab you and get your perspective. So we're here with Full Compass at the Full Compass booth at VO Atlanta. And we're talking about gear. We're talking about recording setups. We're talking about our VO journeys, all these things. Now, you've been doing this a minute, right?
I have, yeah. I started in 2005, so it's
Wow.
been 19 years.
Love that.
Yeah.
What do you specialize in?
Well, I do commercial, and I do narration, as we all did. And then I do a lot of subgenres. Like I specialize commercial, in political, in automotive, in healthcare. And then, of course, I do general commercial. And then for narration, e-learning, I do a lot of explainer. Broadcast and non-broadcast. So, I do a little bit. Right now, I meet with a director on Tuesday to do a film, but it's actually VO as a woman who's deceased speaking through the thing. Yeah,
cool.
So it's VO,
Do
but
you
it's
have
for
that
a
gig,
film.
or you're
So
being
I'm
cast possibly? Or?
Yeah, I'm one of two shortlisted. So I meet with the director and we do a read through.
We're
Yeah,
pulling for
so
you.
it's all. Thank you. It's beautiful. I read the script on the plane and I cried 3 times and I laughed out loud twice, which means it's a really good script. Yeah.
Well, having done this for so long, what do you think about the changes in the industry? A lot.
It's a long.
Since COVID, especially.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, everybody had to run around, change your read. If you could do the
Right.
COVID read, it was awesome. We're here for you. And then all of a sudden it changed because everybody was sick of it. Now it's like, get your rear end off the couch and just keep on. This is life. And then you've got to see, so you're constantly.
The flat
I
read.
have 3 coaches during COVID. I was like,
Wow.
you knew? I need you to, I have to keep up with everything
Yes.
to do it.
Fix me.
Yeah. Like I call it whacking me with fluffy pillows. Yeah, I'm like, I just need you to beat the snot out of me with big fluffy pillows and get me to do whatever read you think is
Beat me up, but
coming
be
down
gentle.
the line so you can stay ahead of it all.
Yeah.
Which you have to in the industry.
So let's talk about your gear, your setup. I
Yeah.
imagine since you've been doing this 19 years, you've had some different incarnations of your studio gear, right?
Oh, yeah. Once you find like the mic that you love and it works with your voice and then we have, so I've got like the closet, you've got because you never get rid of a mic, you just kind of move on, but you keep the old ones. So
Yeah.
you've got all these different ones. But yeah, I mean, when I'm traveling, I always travel with a shotgun, but then I started to travel. So
And it's
I
funny
used-
how you have to be careful saying that phrase, by the
Oh.
way. I travel with
Yeah.
a shotgun.
You really do.
We've all made that mistake, right?
Yeah, it's
Video tech
like,
people
sorry,
know that.
thank goodness this is the correct crowd I'm speaking to that will know what I'm talking about. And I used to use a Lewitt. So
Okay,
Lewitt, but
that's- Marco was just
right?
talking about that.
Yeah, so 640, because it really worked so well with my voice.
It's
And
really warm, isn't it?
it's really, really warm, but then they changed the production of it a couple of years ago.
Okay.
Which did actually, said it was the same, and I tested it, and it wasn't. So I went through, when you find a mic that you love, and I went through and I just found some used ones, and I was just buying them to keep them in the closet for backup, because we always need backup. And then I have the stationary, I've got a Neumann in the booth that I keep. The interfaces are well, you end up with like 15
Yeah.
over the years. But so I currently use a Yamaha AG06 because it has the beautiful playback.
Okay.
So I have 2 of those. I travel with one up, but then I just tested out another interface. Playback is so important to me. It's that extra layer of customer service, really, that I'm doing for my clients. So in a live direct, we'll go through, and they'll say, I'm not sure if I like B, maybe, and this, and I'll like, you want to play back? And they always get so excited. We can hear it. I said, yeah, I've got it. I mean, they're used to it if it's studio, but if we're doing a live direct session out of me, I'm like, sure, no problem.
Yeah, that
that's a
sets
nice
yourself
feature.
apart as a next level pro.
It absolutely, if I highly recommend that people have playback and offer that for their clients. They appreciate it so much, and political, especially because everything's so turned around, it's so fast.
Yes.
That we'll go in, like they'll say, we need you in an hour. Okay, that's fine. And we go through and they're like, all right, what was the timing on it? I was like, give me 1 second. And I quickly edit down the breaths, bring it in. What does it need to be? You want to hear it back? Yes, I do. Play it back. They're like, yep, that's the spot we want. And I'm like, all right, I'll tag it for you and pop it out. And they're like, dude.
And that's why they
Thank
come
you
back
very
to you.
much. That's why they come back. Yeah.
Love it. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Nikki, for your time,
No,
for taking a
thank you
minute to
so
talk with us
much.
about
Thank
gear
you.
and
I'm
stuff like
Great to
that.
meet you.
I've been asked. It's lovely to meet you. And enjoy that Jenga set. I'm happy that you have one.
Bye, Nikki. Thank you
And don't
so
forget
much.
your 20% off code if you need new equipment.
Yeah, Full Compass is offering 20% off. You call during their business hours. You can spend up to $1,000, and they will give you 20% off of anything. Anything. Jason, you want to join us again real quick?
Yeah, get over here, Jason.
Yeah,
we can,
let's
we
put
can
a bow
wind
on
it
this
down.
bad boy. Call Full Compass during their business hours and just mention Voice Over Atlanta. Right, Jason?
Right. Just to clarify, it's up to $1,000 off your order. So you can order as much as you want from us. The 20% only applies up to $1,000.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Kevin's going, I just saw light bulbs. His
Well,
wife's
I'm
over
doing the
there
math.
going,
Yes.
I'm doing the. My wife is going.
Deborah's
don't you?
going,
Yeah, she's
that
taking my
money's...
credit card right now.
Yeah, no, she's saying that money's already reserved for her is what she's saying.
That is a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a good deal. Good deal.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, that's huge. So explain the offer again.
Sure. You call in. Our offices are open Monday through Friday, 8:30 through 5:30. Mention code VO Atlanta 24, and that's the deal. The sales folks will be able to help you out from there.
And you get 20% off of anything your heart desires.
A very small exclusion list.
Okay,
But
okay.
we are running 20% off your total order, up to $1,000 discount.
That is
I love it,
remarkable.
love it. Fullcompass.com.
Yeah,
Yep.
check out the stuff. You put your wish list together, possibly on fullcompass.com, and then give them a call, and then get those savings. So yeah,
Well, it's great to meet you in person finally. We've been chatting for
Absolutely,
a
yeah.
while now. Yeah.
And it's been fantastic watching you work as well.
Oh,
So
thanks.
entertaining.
Thank you so much. The Making Waves VO podcast, recording live from VO Atlanta 2024. Bobby, what's your experience been at the conference so far this year?
Well, I had to come in a day late, so today is a big day because we both have a couple of things going on. But it's amazing. I was talking to Anna Collins a few minutes ago, and I said everybody always raves about how thorough everything is at this conference. You know, anything you need, she's brilliant at detail, and that's why they sell out every year now.
Yeah, it's there's 1,000 of our closest friends here at VO Atlanta 2024, and we're at the Full Compass booth, and it's been a blast. Great job as usual, Bobby, and I guess we're going to go do a podcast panel here in just a little bit. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
We're going to talk all about that stuff. It's the Making Waves VO podcast, recorded live from VO Atlanta 2024, presented by Full Compass, fullcompass.com.
We know VO.
The Making Waves VO podcast is produced by K2 Media Productions with hosts Kevin Kilpatrick and Bobbi Maxwell. Sound design and editing by Jason Traver. Production assistance by Lacey Deline. Publicity and social media by Shannon Scott and Silas Phillips. Be sure to subscribe to the Making Waves VO podcast on your favorite platform. For all episodes, merchandise, gear, and more, visit makingwavesvo.com. Until next time, I'm AJ McKay. Keep making waves.